Hello and welcome back to my model railroad. As you can see on first glance, it doesn't look like much has changed. However, we actually did do a complete change of track. So I was having trouble with the Atlas True Track, as I had mentioned that I installed from last time, and when I went to a local train store and asked if they had sold True Track, and this is like the third or fourth time I'd been to different places, and the owner actually sat down and talked to me saying that I guess he had heard Atlas was kind of going through some manufacturing difficulties. It was hard to get stuff from the warehouse. I don't know if the company had sold off a plant or closed something. I'm not sure about the facts of that, but end result being that it was very difficult to get Atlas products and that they might have been having some quality control issues. So against my original judgment, here we have the Bachmann code 100 EZ-Track, which lived up to its name. It was pretty easy to assemble. As you can see, I've got the same style oval with the inside passing siding. Even went and bought some little cows there. No particular reason, just thought they kind of look cool. And still been having some difficulties though with my turnouts. I did recently order an NMRA HO go no-go gauge, a tester gauge, to make sure everything was in spec. I'm sure lots of my stuff isn't, but I want to figure out where the problem is before I start pointing too many fingers at different components. I've been doing a couple tests just by running a piece of rolling stock over the turnout here, whether it's for straight or for turnout. Getting a lot of derailments on right here on the switching tracks. Every now and then something will derail here at the frog. Actually getting more on the right-hand turnout than I have been on the left-hand turnout, but since this is the one closest to the edge of the table, I'll demonstrate that one more. One thing I can say about the EZ-Track that I really like is, I remember these from when I was a kid. These switch machines are very easy. The wiring was very simple. I went and bought a 10-foot green extension cable for the switch right here to control my right-hand turnout. Back there, I just have it dangling under the table for now. Everything just hooked right up to my Bachmann starter set power pack, so let's get it plugged in and I can start to demonstrate some of the problems I'm still having. One thing I've noticed is that a lot of my cars, my rolling stock and my engines, the couplers seem to have some height differences. I don't know how well you can see this here, but on the back of my 060 tender, the one coupler actually rides a little higher than the coupler on the car. And what I've noticed is that some of my cars, the couplers tend to bend it downwards. I don't know if this is just because they're old or if the quality is just not very good, but I actually have to come in and kind of push up on the coupler just a little bit. And I mean, now you can see that they'll actually couple together instead of the one just riding on top of the other. Still getting a little bit of a height difference there, but at least they will couple. But I mean, as we'll show you here, I'm still getting a very similar problem with the derailment. Let's just put on just a small fraction of speed here. As you can see, shouldn't have any problems with the speed, but once usually the tender gets, that time we've made it through. But usually when the train gets to about here is when the derailment will happen. I'll see if I can't duplicate that. Okay, well, this thing must really like video. Anyway, I can tell you that I've still been experiencing an unusually high number of derailments right here on that turnout. Sometimes it's actually just between a piece of rolling stock and, say, like this little Caboose I have, which does not have rolling trucks on the back or underneath. So maybe that has something to do with it also. But yeah, you can see there, that was pretty much a catastrophic derailment. We were not going very fast. It looks like the derailment happened when the first truck of this car hit the switch track, which is typical of the derailments I've been experiencing. Usually the car will still kind of stay on the track. That was pretty catastrophic. I know maybe I jerked the train a little bit there, but those are the types of derailments I've been getting. Like I said, I just ordered the go no-go gauge to hopefully see if the switching rails here are in spec and to make sure that the trucks in the bottom of this rolling stock are in spec. Like I said, this rolling stock is about 20 years old and has not been stored in a very stored very well. So humidity, heat, everything like that could have damaged the plastic on it. Also went and purchased a new caboose for the Silver Series rolling stock. I know it doesn't necessarily fit in with the theme I'm going here for, but since none of my stuff matches, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Also, I'm trying out some of the newer couplers. I was able to install a coupler on the front here of this diesel, this lifelike version diesel, brand diesel, and was able to pull, successfully pull the new caboose with the new Easy Mate 2 couplers. So, making a few changes. Like I said, hopefully for my next video, I'll be able to I'm going to take some measurements here on the turnout and then figure out why I'm still getting derailments. I've been running rolling stock and my engines, forward, backwards, in the turnout, out of the turnout, just every single possible combination I can think of, and just recording where the derailments seem to happen and what orientation the cars and the engines are at, which direction we're running, etc. So hopefully I'll be able to pinpoint the problem, because I'd really like to expand this layout. As much as I'm not a fan of the look of the Bachmann EZ-Track, it did live up to its name that it is easy. And, thus far I haven't had any problems with it other than the derailment problems, which, like I said, might have to do with the quality of my rolling stock. So I'm going to go raid the parents' basement again in a few days and, get some new rolling stock. I'll get that go, no-go gauge in, and hopefully we'll be able to start making some headway. I've designed a few layouts using the EZ-Track system, using, SCRAM, or the computer program. It's super easy. I highly recommend it. I've spent hours just playing around in different layouts, even with a bounding box as small as my 4x6 layout here. So, hoping for better things to come, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.